And today we want to introduce to you a 6-week course that we're doing called Manifesting. And it's based on Aingeal Rose's book, The Book of Manifesting. You may or may not know, but we have been publishing books for years. We've published over 1,000 books, many in the self-help and growth of awareness and consciousness arena. And this book is about the keys to creating your best life. And it was written by Aingeal Rose over a number of years, based on a lot of principles that she has learnt. And I'm going to read the introduction to you now and then give you an idea of what it is we're going to be doing over the next 6 weeks that you may find of enormous benefit. So Aingeal Rose starts off with a brief introduction, and I'll read it because Aingeal Rose has said that
my eyes aren't the best.
Her eyes.
So it's better for him to read it.
Earlier in my life, I experienced many of the same struggles most people go through. I suffered from low self-esteem, a lack of clarity, and poor finances. I had 2 marriages that didn't work out, and I became a widow twice through tragic circumstances. When I learned that thought is creative and the things we experience are due to the beliefs we built up through our present and past lives, a great desire to uncover my beliefs surfaced within me. This book is what I learned through my 60 years of playing with consciousness and manifestation. What is manifesting? It is the ability to use your conscious mind to cause a desire to take form in your 3D life. What follows is the process I have used that yielded my best results, with some surprises from the universe along the way. You hold in your hand, this book, the key to creating your best life. So come with me as we journey through your subconscious beliefs and programs, removing those no longer serving you, replacing them with those that manifest your highest outcome. And before you know it, you'll become self-honest, you'll find your life purpose, you'll be happy and fulfilled, and realize that you are the conscious manifester of all the miracles in your life.
That about says it, Ahonu, doesn't it?
That about says it. So the way we're going to work this is, it's not a very big book. You can see it's not very thick, but it is full of great content. In fact, I think it's like 112 pages in total. And there are 22 chapters, and we've decided that we would work it in over a 6-week period, right? So that's approximate 3 chapters per week. And we're going to live stream this to our podcast and to YouTube and on our World of Empowerment website. And it is free for people. So this is our gift to you. So let us begin. Is there anything you want to say before we begin, Aingeal Rose?
Not right now, Ahonu.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. A brief rundown through the table of contents, because this is the format that we'll follow. We're going to go through what we will cover today, how we attain beliefs, thought is creative, how desires push through into action, locating your beliefs, resistance, timing, the process of change, how to manifest your desires, when to take action, symbolism in your everyday life, and that's something that's very close to us because we get symbolism in our daily lives all the time, every day, and you'll find when we come to that chapter, it can be quite fun. Being specific, writing out your desires, the process of inquiry, and then we have 3 questionnaires, 1, 2, and 3. The first one is the general information that you're going to seek when you're doing the process of inquiry. The second is about your motivations. And the third will uncover your fears and your fear of change, indeed. And then we're going to look into how to rewrite those fears so as to make them manifest into positive for you. And that chapter is called New Script Practice. Aingeal Rose effectively teaches you how to rewrite the script. And then we've got a lot of reinforcing statements, which is a really interesting chapter because it just shows you the things that we are reinforcing in our minds, in our everyday life, that might just be manifesting negative stuff. But this is a really good chapter. And then we go into gratitude as a manifesting tool. That is interesting in its own right. We go into creating new timelines, and then forgiveness, and blessings. Now, it is interspersed with exercises. Do you want to talk a little bit about those exercises, Aingeal Rose, how they would work in practice? Because basically we're not going to stop and wait for you to write out the answers to these questions. We will say, pause the video now, pause the audio now, and write out the answers, and then resume when you're finished. That's more or less the format, right?
Yeah, or they can just take the questionnaire and do it on their own. They don't have to do it while we're online. Okay? You know what I mean? Like when we get to a point where they need to write something,
Yes.
okay, they could just turn off the video and
That's what I was saying.
go
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like you have to do it all at once either. That's why we're doing this over 6 weeks, because some of these processes do take time, and they do take your commitment also, because it's going to uncover and expose some interesting stuff in you that needs to be resolved in order to manifest your highest heroic outcome. So I'm going to read the foreword, and this is important only because it kind of sets the stage for what we're setting out to do here. Aingeal Rose said, "With every experience we have, we come to a conclusion about life. Either we like the experiences or we don't. And either one of those is a conclusion. Whatever we decide and conclude is what goes into our subconscious mind, and that becomes a program. Our subconscious mind is the part of us that runs our internal mind and body programs. It takes our beliefs and turns them into chemical messages in our brains. The subconscious mind does not decide anything for us, and it does not filter what we believe or conclude about reality." And that in itself is a very interesting point, because we're seeing it now in the conflicts in our society all over, and they are manifesting in our face effectively, because people really are not filtering what they believe or conclude about our reality. It simply says yes to whatever we believe, and it turns it into a program within us. The sum total of our beliefs and associations becomes our personal vibration. Now that in itself is an interesting statement, Aingeal Rose, because many times people ask us, how do I increase my vibration? How do I up my frequency? And therein is the answer, because the sum total of our beliefs and associations becomes our personal vibration. So that is the foreword, but I'm going to continue to just explain a little bit more before we actually get into the first chapter. Your vibration is what you emanate into the world. Your vibration dictates what you attract to yourself. If you are like the other millions of people on the planet, your life is most likely a combination of positive and negative experiences. Some people may have more positive experiences, others more negative ones. Most people will have things in their lives that they would like to change or be different, and they may wonder why it is difficult to change things. They don't know that it is their personal vibration that needs to change. Your vibration changes when you become a conscious creator. This book will help you do that. And let me say, by the way, you don't have to go out and buy this book, but you are welcome to do if you want. It's not expensive. You'll find it on Amazon, and you'll find it on Books A Million, and indeed if you were to go into Barnes and Noble and places, you can order it and they will get it for you. So it's available to you. But we will be reading through it in detail, and we will be practicing all the exercises. So you would be supporting us if you were to go out and buy it, but like I say, not necessary. You need to change your vibration at core levels. Core levels are where you have made your associations and conclusions about your life, your experiences, and your reality in general. These core levels also hold your beliefs about what is possible or not possible. You can change your vibration so you vibrate to a frequency that matches your desires and goals. You can create a happy and fulfilling life and sculpt your life the way you like it to be by following the simple guidelines in this book. It's all about energy. Like attracts like, no exceptions. I did this process myself with my own experiences. In fact, I ended up doing it about almost everything. Anytime I went through any difficulty, I sat down and wrote about it. I'd ask myself key questions about what I was experiencing to uncover what was underneath, to understand what I was really thinking, and more importantly, what I was believing. I say really because sometimes what you think you believe and what you actually believe are not the same thing. By doing this, not only was I uncovering my programs, I was rewriting those that didn't serve me. I began to see instant changes occurring in my life. You don't have to reconcile yourself to having a life that is unhappy and unfulfilling, where you are confused and don't know what you're doing. This is your relationship with yourself that you are uncovering. So let's begin the first chapter by reading about what we'll cover in the course. And we will leave it at that because the next session will be where we will begin to get into the way we attain beliefs. But right now, as you progress through this book, you will find that your consciousness directs the stuff of creation. And by your will and desire, what you declare is. You'll discover the more you unravel the belief structures that limit you, the faster new creations appear. You'll learn the process of change and when to take action. You will know the best timing for decisions and to be specific with your desires. This book contains questionnaires to help you uncover your truth. It contains suggestions for you to use to create your new life scripts. It has many reinforcing statements to guide you to create new timelines for your life. It includes a section on symbolism in your everyday life and ends with how forgiving and blessing can lead to faster manifesting. When you follow what I teach you, you will be free to follow your own life urges, and you will know how to write a new script for your life. You will know yourself at deep levels, achieving clarity of purpose, realizing who you are and why you are here. You will become an awake, sensitive, and compassionate person. And then we will begin with the way we attain beliefs. Now, before we close this introductory session, I do want to mention about realizing who you are and why you are here. Aingeal Rose has been reading the Akashic Record for many, many years. And one of the main questions we get from people is,
what am I doing here?
Yeah, who am I and why am I here? Indeed, we did a workshop, do you remember, Aingeal Rose, in Dublin, Ireland, oh gosh, a good few years ago. I think it was like 2012 or something.
Are we that old?
And it was the most attended workshop that we have ever done. And it was really because it was a touch point for people. Who am I and why am I here? Well, this book and this 6-week course is going to help you uncover that for yourself. So unless there's anything you want to say in conclusion, Aingeal Rose.
Well, once we get started, you will need a notebook and a pen if you're listening. Maybe not right away, but as we get into this a little bit. And of course, you can leave your comments below, anything you want to say so far, or as we go through this. And we'll be here. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. And finally, a little plug for Aingeal Rose. We do Akashic Record readings. And if you feel at any point in time that you do need a reading from the Akashic Record, simply go to aingealrose.com, AINGEALROSE.com, and we would be delighted to help you out in that way. But this book will give you most, if not all, of the answers that you need. So with that, blessings.
Until next week.
Blessings from myself, Ahonu, and from Aingeal Rose.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Aingeal Rose and Ahonu on World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world.